Colin, I heard you finally got into the garden.
Yeah. And we went out and we planted exactly one plant and we heard.
Did your watch record the whole time?
Heck yeah.
Okay, do you want to share some of the stats?
Yeah. 6-hour shift in a garden burns the same amount of energy as running a marathon.
Steady state cardio, so like a multi-hour session like you did, it keeps your heart rate elevated consistently.
I didn't go out to work out. I went to do a job, but I managed to get those benefits.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever notice any benefits after the fact? Did you open a jar a little easier or?
I hurt more from the sunburn than I did physically.
Wow.
I was more drained from the sunburn.
The Helpful Gardeners, the podcast that digs into the buzziest plant trends and news you need to know, regardless of your growing zone. Colin is a skilled horticulturist with decades of growing experience across Canada. Brandi is the greenest of green thumbs with a love of asking questions. Welcome to our garden nook.
Hey, before we start the podcast, can I show you something?
Yeah, what's going on?
So I'm super excited. Look at this. Look at this. It's continuing. Look at this.
What's going on?
So this is new. Well, sorry, I'm excited. It's not new. This is a fertilizer I used to use back in Quebec.
Fafard.
It's killer. So this was on the East Coast.
Yeah.
I don't know how old it is, but I was using it 30 years ago. It's organic. It's made from chicken manure. I love this one, Urban Gardener. This is for balcony growers, small space.
No
you don't
way.
need a huge amount of fertilizer, but it's literally...
Are you serious?
So you can salt bay it.
That's so cool. Okay.
Brand new into the West.
Yeah.
And I think all the people that came from Quebec and Ontario, when they see this, they're going to be as excited as I am.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, I'm looking at it and I feel like when it tells you on the front of the bag, this is for vegetable gardens.
Yep.
It's not like we're trying to make you guess what this is for. Like if you were growing a specific thing, then you know, okay, I need to look for this specific fertilizer. What's that one again?
That one is the all-purpose. So the base fertilizer in it is chicken manure and it's organic.
Oh, you're kidding. We have all of these in store.
All of them. We've got different size flowers. We have the Urban Gardener. We've got the all-purpose. And family-owned business. They focused on the East Coast where they were from, and now they're finally expanding, and I genuinely couldn't be happier.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, well, I'm going to go take a look downstairs in the greenhouse then and grab some fertilizer.
When you garden this, yeah, you got a new fertilizer.
Yeah, okay, Fafard.
Fafard.
Oh, I like it. Colin, I heard you finally got into the garden.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
It's like spring is our busiest season. And I know that for a few weeks, you've been like, oh, I'm behind.
Have you ever, there's an old expression, maybe it's been updated, a cobbler's kids are always barefoot.
Yeah.
That's how I feel with my garden. I spend all spring helping people with their garden. And it seems sometimes it's hard not to take the weather app personally, but I'm like, all right, Sunday I can do my garden. Rain, 90%, 8 millimeters. You're like, cool.
Just a little bit too much to do anything out there. Well, that's cool. What did you end up getting done?
Saturday, all my prep work, cut the grass, trimmed the grass, blew everything off, made sure I had everything I needed. And then Sunday was planting day.
Planting day. So does that involve, because I know you've got some perennials and stuff like that, so you don't have to plant those. No. But when you say planting, that's like planters?
Yeah. And in the garden. So my tomatoes, my peppers, kohlrabi, my lettuce, kale, cucumber, and all of that. Then I do all of my pots, and then I do all of my flowers. So I do my herb pots, my veggie pots, and then I do all of my flowers.
Wow. So you got everything done. Did Jenny help?
No, she wanted to. Yeah. So I had everything ready. Everything. I pulled everything out. So I knew I had my inventory. Yay. And I pulled everything out, and I had my plants here, and I had my pots, and then I had my amendments, and I had my structure ready to go. I had my mixing bin to mix all of my amendments. And we went out and we planted exactly one plant and we heard, and the sky went black.
Whoa.
And I was like, it's probably going to miss us. And Jenny was like, it's not missing us, honey. It'll miss. And then we put everything away, and literally we put away the last things and the rain started. And then it started hailing, and then it was kind of slushy and it was miserable. Mm-hmm. And so I sat inside and sulked a little bit. And then I went outside and got it all done.
Oh, okay. You're just like, at this point, it's like later in the day, we kind of have to get this going. It's no longer
Didn't have a choice.
dawdle thing.
Yeah.
How did your watch record the whole time?
Heck yeah.
Okay. Do you want to share some of the
Heck
stats?
yeah. So I put it. Okay, if Google are listening, which they're likely not, but if Google are listening, you go into Fitbit or Google Fit or Heart or whatever the heck it's called now. You can pick any number of exercises: yoga, weightlifting, hiking, walking, treadmill.
Yeah.
There's like 50 of them.
Yeah.
There isn't gardening.
Oh.
So I put it on outdoor workout.
Okay.
I was like,
that's a pretty good.
I'm going to be
alternate.
walking, lifting,
Yeah.
mixing. So I was like, okay, that kind of encompasses.
Yeah.
My heart rate peaked at 156 beats per minute.
Wow.
Yeah. 118 cardio load, which is more than your entire previous week combined.
Which is funny. In our busy season, you're out walking everywhere. And
didn't have to throw shade on me. Recovery, since you spent nearly 2 hours in the moderate zone, your body will be looking for fuel and rest tonight.
Oh, well, that's nice of them to say.
So, and all in, it was the time I tracked it, it was 3 hours, 54 minutes, and 59 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So it wasn't exactly 4 hours.
Yeah.
I burned 1,011 calories.
Wow.
Average heart rate, 110 beats per minute. And active zone minutes, 155 minutes.
My goodness.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I am so glad that we have access to that kind of information now.
So years ago, when I was landscaping, I read a thing about gardens.
Yeah.
And working out. A 6 hour shift in a garden. And they were talking about homeowners, not landscapers. 6 hour shift in a garden burns the same amount of energy as running a marathon.
Seriously.
And if you Google it, it's true.
And we're not training for gardening.
No. And then and it's why you think, like, when I hear that and I look at those stats and I think of what I was doing when I was like in my 20s. And I was like, it's no wonder I didn't have a whole hell of a lot of body fat, insane amount of stamina, but it also explains why, and I say this, I'm a little bit long in the tooth now, a little bit older, but I'm like, yeah, landscaping is a young person's game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, given all of the damage that you've done to your body over, from your knees to, it's like long-term kind of damage, which I imagine kind of runners kind of go through a little bit of that too. If you're like a seasoned runner, I mean, you're nursing, your feet, your knees, your everything.
Well, it's like you can be an athlete, okay? Like, and I'm not talking professional. I'm talking like just a like regular person.
Recreationally. Yeah.
But you are going to get to a certain age, whatever that age might be, and some kid that has never trained in their life will outrun you.
Yeah.
That's just that is nature. That is the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fun tracking it because I didn't do it for that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, wow, two benefits.
It kind of makes you feel good. Yeah. Exactly. And that's sort of what I want to get into today because gardening is one of the greatest full body workouts. It's like swimming, right?
Yep.
It's just you're activating everything. So let's kind of talk about some of this. So you have your compound movements. So that's things like bending, squatting, lifting heavy bags of soil, pruning. You're activating so much from your glutes to your hamstrings.
Boing,
Hamstrings.
Yep.
Your shoulders, and a lot of these groups are working simultaneously. And I'm sure you can remember, I say those things and you're like, yep, I did that. I did that.
Yep.
I did that. Like all of the
Well,
things.
and you think about it and you've got your area set up.
Yeah.
I don't want to hit my mic here. And I'm working here and I see my plant. Well, I don't stand up, walk over and get it. I'm like stretching and I'm hitting it with. So you everything you're doing, you're maximizing your effort.
Yeah, exactly. You've also got variable resistance. So you've got your gardening tools, right? You're squeezing pruners.
Yep.
You've got heavy pots. So that's like real world resistance, kind of like when you're hiking versus on the treadmill. When you're hiking, you don't really notice because you're it's just the natural way of the earth, right?
Yep.
You're just constantly ups and downs constantly. Whereas on a treadmill, it's very controlled. And same with it when you're using gym equipment, right? It's very controlled. You're putting in the amount of resistance that you're working with. steady state cardio, so like a multi-hour session like you did, it keeps your heart rate elevated consistently. It's in the moderate zone, which is excellent for building cardiovascular endurance over time. It's keeping that like heart rate zone, right? It's not just like, Yeah,
you don't want it constantly spiked. I mean, that's probably going to be sending alerts. But,
probably, yes. But then there's also active recovery. So while it's intense, the mental flow state, it often makes it feel like the physical exertion is less because it's like, which I feel like you've noticed, right?
Yep.
I feel like if I'm running a marathon, I am constantly in the zone and I'm not really doing anything, right? Like maybe I'm focusing on my breathing and maybe I'm thinking about where the exit is, the finish line is. But when I'm on a treadmill, I am very aware of like, I only have 25 minutes left, right?
Yeah.
Whereas when you're in the garden, you don't really think about that.
No, I 4 hours. It should have been under 4 hours. That's my nature rant again, my mother nature rant, because if I'd started when everything was laid out, because I didn't know if it was going to rain again.
Exactly.
So I didn't bring everything out. So I was constantly going into the garage and being like, now I need this. Now I need this. So it was very piecemeal. But I didn't have, my end goal was when I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
My end goal wasn't 25 minutes.
Exactly.
And it was like, but there is the reward part. All my tomatoes and peppers nicely lined up how I want them. Then I put the rings in and I put the mulch and I step back and I go, I got a lift. Looks clean. It's organized. I go, okay, that's done. Now I move to and constantly getting that little validation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've done my 2 urns for the front. They're planted. They're symmetrical. I like them. Now I lift them and I put them in the front. That gives me my mental health hit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, this is worth it.
Yes.
I'm going to do now the next one, now the next one, and you keep going.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. Like we recently just moved a whole bunch of soil into our raised garden beds, and it's like once it's all done, you just feel so proud.
As you should.
And you didn't even really notice the amount of work that went into it. Like, yeah, sure, it was hard, but you weren't counting the reps of every wheelbarrow.
No. And that's the thing is when you're in the gym, and I like working out, of course, but like you said, you're hyper focused. Mm-hmm. So when you're in the gym and you're working out, and any of these fitness people and trainers and everything, and rightfully so, they want you to avoid injury. But if I'm working out and I'm doing dumbbell lifts and I'm like, oh, I'll stretch all the way over, they're going to be like, no. But when you're in the garden, you're like, no, I can do that.
I'm not going to hurt myself.
Yeah. So you're not as dialed in, because when you're in the gym and you're like, I'm going to do my biceps, you're locked in. Mm-hmm. All movement has to be this, right? And you're that. But when you're in the garden, you're like, I'm going to pick this pot up and I'm going to hold it. Because, another one that I think a lot of people don't think about, the grip strength. Yeah. So those hand workouts?
Yeah.
Holding trowels, holding shovels, picking up those plants. You're picking them up by the tips of your fingers, and then you're walking them and putting them down. All of that is activating in here, but we don't think about that.
Yeah.
I didn't go out to work out. I went to do a job, but I managed to get those benefits.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever notice any benefits after the fact? So say you did that entire day, and I realize consistency will mean changes over time that you'll notice in your life, but like, did you open a jar a little easier, or you know what I mean?
I noticed I slept really good that night. No, if anything, when I saw the stats, it did give me an appreciation for what I did. Because I think the longest I ever did in a row when I was landscaping, and hardcore planting days, pavers, cutting grass, you name it, everything you can think of ensconced in landscaping. And I think it was 22 straight days, not one day off.
Can you imagine the Google stats on those days?
I'm pretty sure like by day 4, it would be like recovery day.
Like I kind of want to talk to a landscaper here in the city and just say like, hey, do you ever wear your watch? They probably don't because it would get smashed. But
I wore mine because I did want to track it. I was curious. That's actually why I set it for outdoor workout, because I was like, I am curious. If I was landscaping professionally, I wouldn't, because the dust and the water, the mud.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's hard stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, we've talked about the benefits, physical, but also mental. And, there's a
100%.
space to talk about the mental side as well. But for the sake of this physical style episode,
yeah,
I kind of want to just talk about sort of how to keep your hobby sustainable, because we've often talked about garden burnout in both the physical and mental sense, right? But let's talk about the physical sense, because I don't know if you're like me. I do that, big gardening day. And then the next day I am feeling like, everything is hurting. I feel very dehydrated the next day. Like it's like you're proud and you're excited, but you're also like, oh, I wish I'd taken care of myself a little bit better. So let's talk about some of the ways that you can do that, right? And you hit it right on the head. Prioritize sleep. Number one. So quality rest the night before and after a big project is super important. Basically the foundation to avoiding injury. Staying hydrated. So you were talking about marathon runners. Same kind of thing. We want to gain back our electrolytes. So electrolytes after gardening is fantastic. We always have we have so much Gatorade in the house right now. So that's really good. Drink before, during, and after. And I know you struggle with this, Mr. Coffee. You're like, there's water in coffee.
There is.
But maybe try actual pure water with some electrolytes in it. That's going to help.
Oh, also, one thing on that does help with hydration and fuel. Eat something properly before you go out.
Yeah, that's the other one. So gardening burns serious fuel. Ensure you are eating enough protein and complex carbohydrates to support muscle repair. So before and after. And they always say, it's funny, they always say that before a hike as well. Have a really good breakfast, but don't do anything that's going to weigh you down. So don't do anything that's super greasy. Don't go out to your favorite restaurant and get chicken and waffles. Have some good proteins in there.
Cereals, protein smoothie, fruits.
Yes.
You're getting sugars, you're getting carbs, you're getting protein. That's what you should be looking
Bring
for.
out a granola bar, midway through, and make sure you're taking those breaks throughout just to make sure that you're not overexerting yourself. Because, we could be talking about weather. Maybe it's a really hot day that you've chosen. You're like, I can't do this any other day. You have to be conscious of that and taking more breaks throughout the day to make sure you're not doing heat exhaustion, making sure you're wearing breathable clothing. And I know you have a lot of great tips for that. I just want to get into one more thing. Listen to your body. So if you have heart rate spikes or you feel muscle fatigue, don't be afraid to take those hydration breaks. I know it's so easy for us to see the end goal and to just push through, but you're going to cause more damage if you do that way. What, after all of your years of landscaping, what tips do you have?
Number one is head protection, like a hat, white hat, light hat. Get that sun off your head.
You have a gardening hat that you always wear, and I love that.
Get that sun off your head. SPF. The worst days I remember from landscaping were the first hot days in spring when I didn't wear SPF. I hurt more from the sunburn than I did physically.
Wow.
I was more drained from the sunburn.
Okay.
And the sun exposure than I was from lifting, 56 bales of peat moss. I felt that in my muscle, but my skin hurt.
Yeah.
The skin is our largest organ. Look after it.
Like it.
I know what I can do in a garden, and I didn't take one break. I didn't stop once, not once. I started and I ended after 4 hours. That was it. I didn't sit down, because my thing is as well, if I sit down, it's harder for me to get up.
And that's listening to your body, right? And that's the thing is, if you're going and doing it and if you don't feel like you need to take a break, then don't take a break. But if you are starting to feel heat exhaustion or thirst, or you're just feeling super tired and you need to even stop for the day and pick it up another day, then listen to your body. It's personal.
And change your position. Okay. This is a mistake. So we did a client years ago, and they did an insane amount of annuals. Okay. They had a huge perennial garden. They had trees, they had cedar hedges. It was a massive, massive property. And I did it a few times, and I was like, oh, I can't do that again. It was a mistake, because sometimes we go too much for efficiency. Okay. Especially me. I know that's where my brain goes.
We are optimizers. 100%.
What is the most efficient way I can do this? Well, one of them was bring all of the pots to a central location, fill all of the pots with soil at the exact same time. They all need the same soil. Then plant them all, then move them back to where they need to be.
Okay.
That is utterly backbreaking or ruins your knees.
Yeah.
Because you're in that one position. So what I do now, especially having a bad knee and stuff like that, is I'll kneel down, I'll do the planting, but then I will stand up and go and get a pot and move that. So I'm not staying in that one position, because if I stay on my knee too long, when I go to stand up, my leg won't straighten.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, come on. So I know now is that constant moving of position. If you're bending over, do a job where you're standing.
Yeah.
If you're standing for too long, do a job where you can kneel or sit. If you're planting, you don't have to be on your knees. Sit on your butt.
Mm-hmm.
Get on your knees. Keep your body moving in different ways.
Such a valid point. I can't tell you how many times I've been weeding, and then I try to stand up and
you've got that.
I've like locked up.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I've stiffened up.
Yeah, you have to actually consciously straighten yourself, and it feels tight.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like little tweaks here and there.
Yep.
Just to kind of protect your health. And I know it sounds stupid sometimes. You're just like, I'm just going to go and do it. It's not that bad. You're going to feel even better when you have taken care of yourself before, during, and after. And that's what's going to make your gardening hobby more sustainable.
Yep.
This podcast is brought to you by Golden Acre Home and Garden. Find seasonal inspiration for your home and garden in Calgary, Alberta year-round. Visit goldenacre.ca. The comments and opinions expressed by the Helpful Gardeners on this show are our own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Golden Acre Home and Garden. For more information on everything we covered today and to leave us a voice note, visit goldenacre.ca/podcast. The Helpful Gardeners are on Instagram at The Helpful Gardeners Pod. Keep on growing, gardeners!
Hosting the Helpful Gardeners has been extremely helpful in my gardening journey, but I have a secret weapon that I really want to show you today, and that is the Yard Smart program, developed in partnership between the City of Calgary and the Calgary Horticultural Society. It's so great. I wish more cities across the country had something like this, because they have free online guides for different garden types. So a sun-loving garden, or a perennial garden, or a trees and shrubs garden, or a pollinator-friendly garden. And I love their free videos over on their website, and they cover different topics like gardening on a budget or starting a garden bed from scratch, which, if you've been following the podcast this year, that has been my main garden goal. You have to go online and check it out. Head to calgary.ca/yardsmart, or you can head in-store to Golden Acre Home and Garden here in Calgary, Alberta, and pick up your free copies of their guides today. Happy planting!